Pressure from Washington, major U.S. allies have agreed to join the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, known as the AIIB. Establishment of the China-led bank was announced last year and intended to spur investment in Asian transportation, energy and infrastructure projects. China is the world's second-largest economy and so far has attracted dozens of prospective founding members, mostly from Asia and the Middle East. But big news was made over the past week when Britain, then Germany, France and Italy, Europe's biggest economies, all announced they will join the bank. And now two more US allies, South Korea and Australia, say they may follow suit. CCTV's Richard Bestic joins us now from London. And Richard, what does Britain hope to achieve by joining this bank?
Well, Anand, there are, from a British perspective, two critical issues here. The problems, the economic problems that exist in the Eurozone and finding alternative markets for UK exports. The UK is still heavily focused on exporting to the Eurozone, which, according to the British Finance Minister George Osborne in his budget statement this week, is stagnating. And while growth there is expected to remain low, according to Britain's Office for Budget Responsibility, it could get even worse should Greece make a disorderly exit from the euro. The solution, well, according to Osborne, find alternative markets, preferably, he says, in the faster growing parts of the world, and that's China and Asia. Britain's pushing hard for exports to China, mentioned twice by Osborne in his budget statement, but membership of the AIIB will offer British companies a much wider market upon which to focus a much greater potential for exports.
Now, Richard, the United Kingdom ambassador to China, Barbara Jane Woodward, she said that the United Kingdom has a role to play in this bank, the AIIB. So what does the UK bring to the deal?
Well, Britain brings a number of strengths to the table. Clearly, Woodward is right. Britain has a long and rich tradition of engineering and infrastructure skills developed over centuries. And there aren't many places you can travel in the world without marvelling at some aspect of British engineering genius. But Britain also brings a level of credibility to the AIIB. The UK is one of the world's major financial centres, which will be hugely important in the success of the new body. It's a member of the G7 group of leading industrial nations, a member of the Permanent Five on the UN Security Council, a member of NATO and a senior member of the European Union. Therein, though, Anand, lies a danger for the fledgling AIIB, insomuch as the negotiations this month over the rules and governance of the body are critical. Should Britain walk away from those talks, there would be difficult questions to be answered.
Now, the United States has expressed concerns that by Britain joining the AIIB, it might set a precedent for other allies to join the bank as well. And to some extent, those concerns have been validated. We now have Germany, France, Italy saying that they will join the bank as well. So how will this be looked at?
Well, certainly the fact that 4 European Union nations are now all on board will take a measurable amount of win from US sales. Remember, part of the American objection was based on the fact that the G7 group hadn't yet expressed a collective view on the establishment of the AIIB. Well, as the European 4 are all members of the G7, it would appear that a majority is voting with its feet. Interesting, though, that UK's ambassador, Barbara Woodward, should make her mark on this issue. True, her job is to support the wishes of the UK government, but her intervention also underscores the fact that the AIIB has become something of a test of political and diplomatic strength in the Asian region, and that's significant for the establishment of the rules governing the body.
Now, the United States and the United Kingdom are, of course, close allies. Will this affect the relationship in any way?
And let's be clear, business is business, friendship is friendship. For Britain and indeed those other European Union states you talked about, the AIIB is a commercial opportunity. There are a few friends in business, but much more there are enterprises to work for and self-interest. Perhaps it is the US and the UK, two nations divided by a common language, and in this case, rival business goals. But the short answer to your question is, they'll get over it.
Thanks, Richard. That's CCTV's Richard Bestick talking to us from London.